What's going on, fellas? Mic check, mic check. Gonna wait for a few more people to show up. And as you come in, I'd like you to hit the like button on the video. Just waiting a little bit. See what's going on. Got 31 watching so far. We're going to get a few more in here before we start. Have an adult conversation. Talk about a few things. Just waiting. 46 watching, 24 likes. Hello to Maurice, Courtney, postpartum, Selah Realist, Shavar 1983. What's happening? KG, what's good? James Johnson, what's happening, bro? Got 50 watching now. Let me get some of them likes. Get the likes up. All right. Couple of more minutes. Shay Morpheus, what's happening, man? Always good to see you. Darky Migto. Shay, how long have you been a subscriber, man? I've been seeing you for years. 2K15 King Marcus, what's happening? Oh, yeah, we're going to do some grown folk talking here. Cootie Slide, what's happening? Let me get myself situated so we can begin. 2015, yeah. Appreciate that, man. I know I've been seeing your avatar around for a long time. 34 likes. Let me get a few more likes before we start. Let me get about 3 or 4 more likes. When we hit 40 likes, we will begin. I'm trying to hold y'all hostage a little bit. 40 likes and we'll start. 76 watching now. Solo TV 84, right out the back with the super chat. Let's get it, Sensei. What's happening, Solo? Always good to see you, bro. You owe me a show too, man. You owe me a show. Well, a few of them, actually. Milk Main, the trucker. What up, bro? Also, I've been seeing you for a long time too, Milk Main. How long you been a subscriber? Just curious to know. William Mora. That's right, Tamara Reese. Get them likes up. Rob Carpenter, K-Town. Oh, yeah. Born and raised West Side Chicago. K-Tizzle. Forever in my blood. Patreon, yes. Good point, Will. I am on Patreon. I just dropped the video, Nasty 2.1. So the Patreon is up. www.patreon.com/blackram313. Go check me out. Thanks again, Solo and Milkman the Trucker, for your super chats, man. Greatly appreciated. It's always good to see that kind of love in the chat. Black Man, what's up? Tyrone Underwood. All right, let's get started. We got 75 watching and 51 likes. Let's get it. Black Ram 313 back at it again. You know why? It's because you know it's therapeutic, man. Back again with another therapy session. This time live with Black Ram 313. Today's topic will be discussing the rules of a God King. Shout out to Shay Morpheus, T. McCall for the super chat. So Black Ram, props, bro. Peace to you as well. Eyes wide open. Peace to you as well. So let's get it. Now, check this out. I had a video that I did about 4 months ago. Video is called Tales of a Simp. And in this video, I had a lot of great comments in the comments section. But it was one particular guy, and I hope he comes on here today. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. It's hard to pronounce his name. Salchih. So I'm gonna call him Sal. I think it's Salchih or something like that. And he dropped 37 rules of a king. So these are not my rules. Not my rules. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate that. These are not my rules. This is Sal's list. A list of 37, but I'm only going to do about 20 here today. I don't want to keep you all way too long now. But he has a list of 37 rules of a king. And if you want to see that list, all you have to do is go to that video. And I will be reading for that list from that list today. Go to that video, Tales of a Simp, and check out his list. I think the list got like 280 something comments. The list was fire. So fire that I had to do a whole live stream about it. Shout out to Rise of Health Consciousness. Brother got a lot of good information on his YouTube channel. Check out the Rise of Health Consciousness. We all need to eat healthy and be healthy. Shout out to you, bro. And shout out to you, Rich Life 412. Now, in this live stream, what I'll be doing is going through his list and giving my commentary on his rules of a king, but I'm going to call it the rules of a God King. And the idea of a God King comes to me via a movie, one of my favorite movies of all times, and that is the movie 300. So just to make sure I'm relating to my audience, you guys, the Red Pillars, if you have seen the movie 300, give me a number 1 in the chat, and I'll explain the meaning behind the God King, or the inspiration of the term God King, small g. So in the movie 300, we have Leonidas fighting with the Persian army. The Persian army led by Artaxerxes, also known as Xerxes. Now, Xerxes is a real figure of antiquity. In fact, his name is actually mentioned in the scripture. I believe it's the book of Daniel, if I'm not mistaken. Artaxerxes, at the time, known as a great conqueror, stomping through Europe and throughout parts of Asia, going forth and going through to conquer. In one of the greatest scenes in the movie, Artaxerxes comes to the battle with the 300 Roman soldiers. And he's on something that looks like a ship, marched in on elephants, and a beautiful looking vehicle, to say the least. And Artaxerxes stood in the movie 300 about 7'5", 7'8" maybe. And he gets off of this contraption that he's riding on. And immediately men start falling over so that he can step over them. And he goes to Leonidas and says, "Yes, I'm Xerxes, the God King. Come now, let's reason together." That scene was so pivotal to me. Stood out of my mind even to this day. Artaxerxes declared himself a god and a king. The scripture says, "You're all gods, children of the Most High God." But what is this thinking? What are these rules of a God King? In thinking about this subject, one of the things that gives us our power source for red pill knowledge and information, the power source that we have is internalizing the information and making this information our world view. So we separate ourselves, we differentiate ourselves, we make a distinction, we set ourselves apart from the rest of the populace. And as we well know, most of the populace, they are simps and manginas. So we make a clear distinction between us and them. And this distinction is carried out throughout our daily lives. So right here, this is therapy. But before we get into the rules of a God King, let's just talk about a few rules of the simp. To keep in the back of your mind as we discuss is not necessarily compare and contrast. However, everything that a king is opposite to what a simp could be. So in thinking about this, a couple of characteristics of a simp. It is the simp who believes that a woman's value is much, much higher than his. He goes out of his way to protect the queen, even with his life. Only the simp would be monogamous with a single mommy, essentially putting her first when he comes in her world after each kid and the kid's homework and the kid's activities, and also the father of those same said children. Only the simp is exclusive with a woman who has reproduced with another man. And now she would spend the rest of her life seeking and ensuring the survival of another man's progeny. Those are the main characteristics of a simp. Only the simp will spend his time and resources on another man's children. Only the simp would use his life, energy, and resources to please the female. Only the simp. But today's topic, is complete opposite of those things in which exemplify and define simping and what simping is. So I see a lot of questions and comments in the chat. I will try to get to those toward the end to answer all of your questions again toward the end of this video. But right now, we're going to talk as gods. We're going to talk as kings. We're going to talk as being imperial. We're going to talk as being supreme. Grown man and adult conversation. So again, real quick, if you're just tuning in, I'm going over a list called The Rules of a God King. Again, it is not my list. The list was compiled by a commenter on my video, the video entitled Tales of a Simp. He gives 37 attributes or 37 behaviors or 37 types of attitudes a king should have. I'm going to go through his list and I'm going to add my commentary. So without further ado, this is Sal's or Salchih, his list. I'm going to go through 20 points, attributes of a God King. So here we go. Number one on the list. Number one, numero uno, of the rules of a God King is to put yourself first. Pretty simple, right? But not necessarily as simple as some may think. This is what a god does. A god, a king, puts himself, his interest first. If you look at the United States government, when they talk about foreign policy and anything that comes into conflict with such foreign policy, you will hear statements like, well, the United States will put their foreign interest first. For a king, for those who govern, it's always your own interest first, quite simply. See, as the king, you are the point guard of your relationship, the point guard of your own life. The offense flows and goes through you. You are the head, you are master. You make all the decisions, control every aspect of all your personal relationships. You make all the decisions. You put yourself first. And in making all the decisions and putting yourself first, and by the way, she is a terrible decision maker. You understand that simps consult with their women before making a decision? They have to get the decision from their wives first. Danny Kane, the rules list are on the video A Simp's Tale, or Tales of the Simp. It's pinned to the beginning of that video. So now I'm reading off this list. And number one on the list is put yourself first. Actually, I made a mistake. Is you make all the decisions. So what I'm doing is I'm running number one and number two together. Forgive me. Mr. Limba, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Much appreciated. And also, if you are not, subscribe to Mr. Limba's channel. A lot of red pill wisdom and knowledge goes forth through there. He has a classic video talking about masculinity through intimacy. That's not the exact title, but go and look for that video. It is a classic. Forgive me for not knowing the correct title of that, but Mr. Limba is that business. So again, make all the decisions and put yourself first. You should always put yourself first. Always. You should always make the decisions in your relationships. As I was saying, married men, encapsulated men in bondage, they have to consult their wives and their women before they make any decision. They have to get her opinion. Now, here and there, yeah, for laughs and giggles, it's okay to hear opinions from anyone. However, understand that in making all the decisions, you are the one who not has only the final say, as some would say, not only the final say, but you have all the say. And if you want a second opinion, you are free to get one. But at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, you make all the decisions. And that's number one. Make all the decisions. Number two is put yourself first. I talked about that. And in putting yourself first, again, that's the thinking of a God. We put ourselves first. And guess what? We put ourselves first. And when you're dealing with a female, she is to put you first as well. So check this out. I know how it sounds to the average ears and hearers, but check this out. Not only are you putting yourself first, but she is putting you first. Above her own needs, above her own ideas, above her own thoughts and actions. Whatever she does, she's considering you first. Her man, her dip, her buddy for cuddling, putting you first. This is the king position. The thing is this. You have to believe that you deserve such. You have to believe that you're entitled to such. If anybody should have entitlement, of course, it's us. Men, the builders, the makers, the owners, the preservers, the protectors of everything. So again, number one is you make all the decisions. Number two, put yourself first. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish with putting yourself first. And let me say this as well before we move on. Doing some thought, some thinking, I realized that I am not a hero. I'm not a hero. I can't see risking my life for a stranger. Now, I know as a man, you're supposed to be disposable. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to risk your safety, your life for someone else. I get that. That's societal programming. However, I refuse to risk my life for a stranger. I'm putting myself first. I'm selfish with living. I breathe for me. I do not breathe for you. So I put myself first. Always. Selfish, if you believe so. Wise is what I think of such. Talleyrand the Great. What's up, brother? Thank you for the super chat. Talleyrand the Great is an up-and-coming YouTuber. Go and subscribe to his channel. Check out what he has to say. He's just getting started. I'm looking forward to hearing many great things from his channel and from his purpose. Thank you, bro. So I breathe for me, not for you. I'm selfish with living. I will not live my life and protect strangers. Makes no sense for me, to me. I'm not the hero type. Very few people that I would risk my life for, in an absolute stranger, regardless of age or gender. A stranger is not one that I'm willing to jump in the river for. No, thank you. So again, number one is you make all the decisions in your relationships. And number two is put yourself first. Now, number three, I hope I'll keep it in order this time. 139 watching, 100 likes. Get the likes up as you come in, and thank you. Now, number three on this list, number three on Sal's list is do not argue. Win through actions, never through argument. Of course, specifically when it comes to the opposite gender. Do not argue. In fact, I did a video, maybe it was a year ago or longer, and the title of that video is Why I Do Not Argue with Women. Go and check it out. The Sinister Minister. Thank you, sir, for your super chat. Much appreciated. So I did a video called saying that one who's wise, a red pillar, man, should not be arguing with women. I have experience with this. Some time ago, a woman that I was seeing had an issue. And she was telling me how I should have checked a guy for saying a comment to his wife about her. And when she went on and ranting and raving, telling me what I should and what I shouldn't do and how I should do it, I let her speak her mind. But I did not engage her in argument. I do not, I will not engage a woman in an argument. Shout out to the Thinking Man's Templar, Migto Ibmore, for the super chat. Black Ram, click so fast, laugh out loud. Guys, check out my page. Very inspired by this brother. Always a pleasure to listen. Absolutely, bro. Thank you. The Thinking Man's Templar. Go check him out. Formerly known as Ghost God. In fact, he was featured on my one of my live streams. Had a long conversation about a few things. So subscribe to his channel. He's putting out some gems. He's throwing out classics. So check him out. So she began to protest and discuss and rant and rave. I let her get her roll off. I didn't show any emotion, any thoughts, any feelings behind it because I do not argue. I will not argue. And once she finished her rant, Black Ram was very composed. Understand, gentlemen, I believe in being self-disciplined, poised, posed, calm, cool, collect, smooth, man. Unaffected, indifferent. Takes a lot to break my focus, concentration, and serenity. I'm cool, man. So after her ranting and raving, I simply allowed her time to calm down and I put her in a proper place. I let her know that it's not your job, nor do you have the ability to tell me how I should react to any said situation. And I will handle each and every situation that comes my way concerning you, myself, and others when and how I see fit. End of discussion. No argumentation. I say, and it is. We're talking about the rules of a God King now. What I say is law. No argumentation. See, arguing with her puts you in the subordinate position. You're supposed to say, and it goes. And if what you say doesn't go, she goes. And if she doesn't obey, then what you need her for? You don't need her around. For what? And if she don't want to obey, what you do is you call her up. She come pay you a quick visit for about an hour. Y'all huff and puff, send her on our merry way. And that's all you have to deal with until the next time that you want to share that experience. But any woman that you're dating or spending significant time with, you do not want to spend that time arguing. You do not want to equivocate yourself, put yourself on the same level with her and argue. Again, it is for the subordinate. Aardvark says society has set up the narrative where women have the power to control and dominate everything in sight, hence feminism. Absolutely. Absolutely. So no arguing with her. No. Any woman you spend significant time with needs to be in obedient. That means she should be listening and doing. Let me ask you a question, gentlemen. For everybody, listen up here. Listen up here. Does a military general argue with his subordinates? The obvious answer is no. A military general does not argue with his subordinates. He gives orders, and those orders are expected to be followed. Again, if you're spending significant time with the woman, your time is valuable. It's golden. You are a god, right? So you're spending significant time with a woman. You are to expect obedience. You are expecting her to be on her best behavior. It is a way that you carry yourself around royalty. You must have the proper etiquette to be in my company. And part of that etiquette is not arguing with you. We can converse, but there is no debate and there's no argumentation. Disagreements, limited. I believe in peace. So again, number one on Sal's list, if you're just tuning in, doing a list of the rules of a God King. Number one, you make all the decisions in your relationships. Number two, you put yourself first. Number three, you do not argue. You win through actions, not through argumentation. Dating Mindset and Raw Game. Thank you, bro, for tuning in. Dating Mindset is also an up-and-coming YouTuber. You will behoove yourself to go and sub to his channel, check him out, see what he's saying. And I appreciate you rocking with me. And shalom to all the Hebrews that are in the building. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala. The next in the list of the rules of a God King. And number 4, very potent rule here. And number 4 is, do not change anything in your life or about yourself for her. Amazing. I'm going to read that again. Number 4, do not change anything in your life or about yourself for her. She is being invited into your world. You are not going into hers. When you walk into a store, a restaurant, an establishment, when you walk on the job, you don't go to these places and ask them to change things. Again, you are the superior. She is the subordinate. You come in as is and you deal with the things as though they are, right? It's in a woman's nature to try to change you. But in this, she's searching, she's looking for weakness to exploit. Realize that there should be no changing for her sake. You are a complete product. She will try to change you for her benefit. In doing so, this automatically makes you her subordinate. Don't change your style, your attitude, or your worldview for her. This is the position of a beta for sure. And if you show your heart to her, your mind to her, which you probably shouldn't, she should know the real you. But for what she does know, she must accept it. But in turn, you must change things about her because she's put here to serve. She should be whatever you want her to be. More on that later. But you do not change things. Not for her. You only change for yourself to improve on yourself. Now, she may reap the benefits for that. But when the woman changes you, that's another form of control. It's a simpish position. Change for yourself. You are a finished product. No need to make adjustments to fit her in. She must make the adjustments. She must shave off pieces of herself to fit in whatever crevice you have her in. She makes the changes. She makes the adjustments. Moving along to number 5 in the list. Not my list. Rules of a king. I'm just providing a commentary. Number 5. Do not apologize and do not offer any excuse for anything. This can be a hard one because we are taught to apologize, aren't we? We make mistakes. We're taught to apologize. And I'm not talking about knocking over a drink or misspeaking. No. Don't apologize for who and what you are. That's where the non-apologetic comes in. That's where the no mistakes come in at. There is no mistake in being who you are. So you don't have to apologize for anything. Nothing at all. You are a gentleman with integrity. Your expectations of yourself and what you expect from her is clear. She has to love it. She has to respect it. Therefore, there is no need to apologize about anything because you are very clear in who you are as a man, as a God, as a king. And there is no apologizing about that. You are a master. You are not born to please her. So why would you ever need to apologize about anything? Mike Gates, fellow West Sider. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Black Ram, I've always make a female get up and make her give me the seat facing the door. Never know who comes in. Absolutely. Because as a man, Mike, you are concerned with safety and security. It's not in a woman's nature to be concerned about her safety. Her safety is always being provided for. But you as a man, you're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking at the door, you're looking behind you. If you ever walk down the street and a woman is in front of you, check how many times she looks behind her back. Almost never. But you as a man, your head is on a swivel, 360, introspective, looking not only inside of you, but you are looking around you. Introspective, perspective. You're making sure because safety is a thing for you. It's not in her nature to do so. Antonius Charles, thank you, brother, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thanks again, bro. Thank all of you who are and have donating. Much appreciated. So again, do not apologize for who you are and what you are. Accept yourself. You know, I had to do that. I had to accept myself. Let me get into a little therapy here. A little side note, something I didn't even plan on talking about. A little therapy. The power of accepting oneself. And I know a lot of you all may not be able to relate to this story, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is therapy, right? What's the number one rule in therapy? I need you guys to tell me. Let me take a second here. What is the number one rule in therapy? Can somebody type that in the chat? The number one rule in therapy. The number one rule in therapy. I'm gonna give you guys a second for somebody to put that in the chat. What's the number one rule in therapy sessions? I need to know. Anybody come up with that? That's right. There is no lying in therapy. There is no lying in therapy. The number one rule when it comes to therapy sessions is that there is no lying in therapy. Repeat, there is no lying in therapy. Absolutely. So I'm gonna share something with you guys, a little therapy, because this is a therapy session. And people use that term now a lot, but know that your boy Black Ram is the originator of the therapy sessions. The originator, the original, since 2013. There is no lying in therapy. So a personal story about accepting yourself. So you don't have to apologize to anyone for who you are. Full acceptance. Let me give you an example of full acceptance. I hope you guys can relate. Maybe some of you can't, but I'm going to say it anyway. When I was young, coming up, being raised in a family, peers included, those who are involved in Christianity. And the feminist paradigm, the worldview of Christianity, is one of the promotion of monogamy. I'm talking about self-acceptance here. So as a young man, I've always been peculiar. My peculiarity came in this fashion. There were guys who liked women, but I always was a guy. I've always have been a guy who loved women, man. I'm talking about the shape. I'm talking about the skin, the hair, the nails, the smell, the taste, man. I even like the smell of a woman's breath. Simply Deep, what's up, bro? I'm glad you was able to stop in. That's right, Mr. Brown. I'm trying to educate here. 10-2 Lions Wealth. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Much appreciated. So as a young man, I've always adored women. And I just didn't want one. I've always wanted 2 or 3 or 4. Kind of like ice cream. Kind of like ice cream, right? You know, you kind of like strawberry. You kind of like vanilla, kind of like chocolate, butter pecan. I never wanted one flavor. I would see one woman and like her, see another woman and like her too. I'm not talking about just physical. I'm talking about heart fluttering. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, there's Keisha. There's Mary. There's Tiffany. Oh, she's so beautiful. But the Christian Western worldview and mindset says that you are wrong, Black Ram, for wanting more than one. So I thought that I was wrong for wanting more than one. So when I would deal with 2 girls at the same time, I would feel extreme guilt. Guilt. And I thought that was so wrong to want more than one woman. And when I would try to express these feelings, I would hear people say, see, that's God trying to tell you something. You ain't supposed to have more than one woman. And I felt so bad about this. And this didn't change until I was a very young adult. Even up until my early 30s. I'm now 40. And even in my early 30s, my thinking was, wow, you know, I deal with beautiful women. You know, they're somewhat good girls. They don't have any evil intentions that I can see. They actually adore me. I like them. They do right by me. Man, they deserve a husband. They deserve monogamy. That's what I thought. Again, this is therapy. That's what I thought. They deserve monogamy. I felt bad. I'm dealing with this girl, man, and I'm not going to marry her. I'm not going to live with her. I'm not going to give her none of the things that she wants. And she deserves better. And I felt bad about myself that I couldn't give myself completely to a woman. But one day, I decided to take another look at the scriptures, man. And I saw where Abraham, Lamech, I saw where David and Solomon and Gideon, men of valor, men of strength, kings, who had 1 woman, 2 women. The progenitor of the nation of Israel had 4 wives. Jacob, 4 wives. The progenitor of the Hebrew Israelite nation. I'm like, if this is wrong, why aren't these patriarchs suffering and being told that they're wrong for wanting and having multiple women? Now, my point is not about multiple women here. I'm talking about accepting yourself. And then when I realized that there was no sin in dealing with multiple women, check out my video, Is Polygyny Sin, on the Black Realm for Vengeance channel for more biblical information about that. But anyway, my point is this. Once I began to realize that there was no sin and that God himself, the real, true, and living God, the Most High, was not going to judge me as a sinner for having multiple women, And I realized it was my nature. And from reading the scriptures, I started reading books as well. Books on psychosexual evolutionary psychology. I love to learn, I love to read. And in these books on psychosexual evolutionary psychology, books like The Red Queen, books like Sperm Wars, and a recent book that I've read called The Evolution of Desire. These books detailed that a man's nature was to sow seed in many different fields. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make here is this. Once I accepted my own nature, the feelings of guilt was removed, and I no longer felt bad about my desires for multiple women. I no longer felt bad. I no longer felt like I needed to hide it. I no longer need to feel like I needed to hide. No more. No, this is who I am. It is what it is. And the feeling of guilt left. That's my point. It's not a rant about polygyny versus monogamy. The point is that I accepted myself. There was no need any longer to apologize for my own desires. And I realized through the reading of the scriptures that she was built to serve you. That the purpose that the Most High had himself in creating her was with you in mind, not the other way around. She's built for you. Thank you, Dating Mindset and Raw Game. Appreciate you. But she was built for you, to serve you, to please you, to keep you from being lonely, not the other way around, like today's world will instruct you, program you, and try to tell you. So I had to accept myself, man. And it was indeed liberating. And that was the start of my personal red pill journey. An evolution of thought. But it came by accepting myself. It came with being unapologetic for who I am as a man. Now, of course, when you change your mindset, when you accept yourself, you will be challenged on such. The day will come when you will be challenged in your very belief and thought process. The question is, as a red pillar, will you hold your ground? So again, no apologies for who you are. None. Zilch. Nada. No apologies. I am who I am. I am a man who loves to read the scripture. I am a man who loves women. I am a man who likes doing YouTube videos. I am a man who's a germaphobe. Take it or leave it. At the end of the day, all you got is yourself anyway. That's right, MGTOW Savior. Black Ram 1 billion. One of my favorite sayings. Black Ram 1 billion. But self-acceptance. See, this is not just buzzwords, and it's not, I'm not on here to sound cute. I ain't here to entertain you. This is real. The words may sound trivial, but you have to internalize these things, right? We're talking about rules of a God King here, right? This is what it means to be a God. Self-acceptance. Nobody is better than being you than you. Again, this is Sal's list, not my list. I'm just adding the commentary, adding the fuel to the fire. Let's move along because we got 20 and I'm only on number 6 now. We are already almost an hour in. Sometimes I can't believe how long-winded I can be. But anyway, I'm enjoying you guys. So number 6. Quadash Chaya. Shalom to you too, bro. Glad you can join. Eyes wide open. What's happening? I think I shouted you out already. 666 Savage. Absolutely. Jeffrey A. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Jeffrey A says, I've watched a lot of your videos and I've learned a lot. Keep spreading your knowledge. Appreciate it, bro. That's what I'm here for. If you're just coming in, get the likes up. We have 156 watching now, 137 likes. Appreciate you all for joining in. Talking about the rules of a king now. The rules of a God king. Now, number 6 on his list, not my list. On his list, not my list. Number 6 is tell her no in the blink of an eye without apology or excuse. Amazing. What up, Freeman Marcus? JPCB 2008. You're very welcome, sir. If my life has influenced yours or saved yours, as you say, it is my privilege to do so. Appreciate you. So tell her no in the blink of an eye without apology or excuse. Now that's some powerful stuff. Potent. No to her or anyone else is always a good answer. Always a good answer. No is always a good answer. See, as God kings, we are not people pleasers. I say again, as kings, as gods, we are not people pleasers. That is not our aim. Now, you can be benevolent. Yeah, you can be good. You can be good to folks. Yeah. However, those in your life, the woman in your life, she should hear no more than yes. Now, why do I say this? Am I saying it's just to be a meanie black ram? Are you just being mean black ram? No, I'm not saying that you should say no just for the sake of saying no, to pump your chest, to feel big, to feel like a man. No, I'm not saying that. So reason behind it, it's a science behind it. It's a science behind it. The reason why your no's should outweigh and outnumber your yeses is simply because her nature is one of greediness. Therefore, the word no should be heard often because we don't allow others to use us, do we? Nor do we live for the sake of others, nor do we live to simply please others. Now, if others are pleased by us, that's one thing. But to simply please them as a goal and as an aim and as a focus, no, thank you. No, thank you. We don't do that. Very simple. So your no's should outweigh your yeses due to her insatiable nature. It's like a kid in a candy store. Kid want whatever they see. Kid in the toy store. Kid in the candy store. Don't believe me? Take your woman around purses that's being sold. How does she act around the purses, gentlemen? How does she act? How does the creature act around shoes? How does the creature behave around shoes? Just like the kid in the candy store. Just like the kid in the toy store. She don't want to grow up. She wants to be a kid. So tell her no. You can't get everything. You can't have everything. No. Tony K25, you got to go to work. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for stopping in and checking me out for a minute. Appreciate you. Thank you, T Fry. So she does not deserve to get a yes because she wants everything. And you do not need to explain it. Exactly, ugly truth. Exactly, ugly truth. No need for an explanation. No is the operative word. She's insatiable. The word no needs to be heard. Next time your woman asks you for something, tell her no. Look at her face. She'll probably even pout, just like a kid. That's right, Mr. Brown. Just like a kid. You know, women always joke and laugh and call us children, but I think the evidence can show that they're bigger kids than we are. if there is such a thing in regards to us. But of course, simps are children, but we separate ourselves from those anyway. Now, moving along to number 7. Do not allow her to take a dump on your day and put you in a bad mood. Beautiful. I'm going to say that again. Number 7. Do not allow her to take a dump, to drop a hot one with peanuts in it. Stank. Do not allow her to take a dump on your day and put you in a bad mood. Now, this guy must have been listening to my channel because I did a video, a series that was not really received well, a series called Supreme Wisdom. And in the Supreme Wisdom video and series, I talked about not allowing anyone to disrupt your spirit. What's happening, David Bowman? Glad you can join. What up, Magic Thunder and GW? Paul? What's happening, gentlemen? But don't allow her to take a dump on your day and change you and put you in another mood. Again, as I said, I talked about this on my Supreme Wisdom video. Never allow anyone, her or anyone else, never allow anyone to disrupt your spirit. Sean M., thank you, bro, for the super chat. Sean M. says, what up, Black Ram? You are on fire today as always. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. I got to give credit to Sal because this is his list. Hopefully he can either join in the chat or catch the replay. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But this is done in honor of him. This is his list. Anyway. Hold on. Paul, you said you got 30 men listening right now. They don't have a channel to add their comments, but they are listening. You have changed lives. Appreciate that, bro. You brought 30 guys to listen in. Appreciate you. And to those 30, shout out to you, gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Rules of a God King, a list compiled on one of my videos in the comments section. The video is called A Simp's Tale or Sales of a Simp, a list of 37 attributes of a God King. Absolutely. So back to number 7. You don't allow her to disrupt your spirit. See, a woman or a person or people will come to you and they will try to often dump their emotions in your lap. Like they'll take a wheelbarrow and just pick their emotions up and just dump them on you and want to make you responsible for how they feel. And women will do this, especially if she has a gripe about you. Dump all those feelings in your lap. Example, and I know you brothers can relate. Have you ever heard a woman, or have you ever had a woman to come and tell you and say these words here? We need to talk. You know what that means, right? We need to talk. For the simp, those words make a man shake in his boots because he knows that he's in trouble. Something serious is going on. Her emotions are on fire. And she has a big hot one, a pile to dump right in your lap when she say those words, we need to talk. I'm sure we've all heard that. But when she comes to you and say that, she's ready. She's ready to speak her mind. And let her do so. Let her speak her mind, of course. Let her speak her mind. But do not get emotional with her. Do not allow her to pull you into her varying emotional states. She will pull you down like a sunken ship. And allowing her to pull you in and out of your emotional states and putting you in and out of her emotional state or states is weakness on your behalf. In doing so, going in and out of different emotional states with her shows that you are not worthy of being a God king. See, we're not the kings of today, like the presidents of the Western world who have never been in a fight, never got hit in the face. People that are from the aristocrats, the aristocracy, those who were born with a silver spoon in their mouths. We are military generals taking our seats as king. That means we have been in the field fighting the wars, the battles. We're in the trenches. We deserve our position. So when you allow her to pull you in and out of different states of mind, states of being, if her emotions can turn yours, you mad because she mad. What up, King David Lone Wolf? You mad because she mad. This is weakness. And let me tell you a secret. This may sound mean. But I mean this. You should not place a high value on her emotions. Do not place a high value on her emotions. Emotions in which change like the wind. Have no confidence in this duplicitous creature. Do not allow her mood to influence yours ever. Think about it like this, guys. How are you going to lead when she panics? Are you going to panic when she panics? When she see a rat or a roach and she screams and jumps and yell and she holler, you going to do the same thing? You're going to follow into her emotional state? She mad, you mad too? No. Don't place such a high value on her emotions because her emotions are fleeting. They're ever changing. Her emotions is one thing 1 second and another second. How can you put stock in such? Don't allow her to influence your emotions and your mind state. Don't allow her to pull you into her mess. Paul emailed me about that Toronto thing. I'm definitely interested in such. That's right, Ricky. Always a constant test. Stay composed like Mayweather, absolutely. Quadash, you messed up with that today, absolutely. This is therapy, man. We mess up, but we get up and we forgive ourselves for our mishaps and we go on to pursue our kingship. Absolutely. This is therapy, and there is no lying in therapy. What up, Gilbert Bird? What's happening, bro? Mr. Brown, that's right. We have to stay centered. Discover yourself. What's happening? That's right. We do that all the time. So, yeah, you don't want to allow her to pull you in her emotions, man. Her emotions are nothing. And I know that sounds harsh, especially for a girl, because to her, emotions means everything. But her emotions are too unstable to be meaningful. It's only with you as a man and as a king the ability to think beyond your feelings, to make a decision, to live on a principle, and to stick with such, regardless to how you feel. Her whole life is in regards to how she feels. Your life is in regards to principles. That's why you're made in direct image of God and she is not. Believe that. You say BOA was lit? Of course. BOA is always lit. I expect nothing less. If it wasn't lit, I had to give him a call and ask him what's going on. Book of Alpharani is always full of fire. It's my brother right there. So continuing on. Number 8. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is the rules of a God King. A list of attributes that was left on my video, A Simp's Tale. This is not my list. This is Sal's list, a commentator. I'm just providing the commentary to the list. So number 8. And actually it goes along with number 7. But number 8, he says, do not allow her to piss you off. If she does, don't let it show. Excellent point. Why you mad? Why you mad? What you getting mad for? If you getting mad, you too emotionally invested. You shouldn't be overly invested in anyone, especially your woman. Not invested enough to lose your cool. That's too much of an investment. Remember, she has the power to call them boys in blue. So you always want to keep your composure. You don't ever want to let somebody knock you off your square. Always composed. What you mad for? Anger and being mad is a loss of self-control. Again, I say, anger and being mad is a loss of self-control. Remember what I said earlier. It's not about being tough. It's not about beating your chest. It's about holding on to principles. We can be firm, but we are also gentlemen. We are also integral. We're also cool, calm, collective, smooth, and peaceful. This is confidence in your masculinity. What you mad at her for? Did she surprise you? As a red pill of female nature should not surprise you. Oh, she did something wrong. She was dishonest. She was unfaithful. I'm not saying you gonna be Superman and not be hurt or disappointed. No. But why you mad though? When you're mad, that means you have too much of an expectation. You have to have self-control. What up, Outlaw Mind and Jack Carbon? Book of Alpha running me in the building. What's happening, bro? And as I always say, if you subscribe to Black Ram 313, you must also be subscribed to the Book of Alpha running me. If you're not, you slipping. Go and subscribe to the Book of Alpha running me. Subscribe to his Patreon page. All of that. This brother is a phenom, a workhorse, doing live streams every day, sometimes twice a day, kicking out red pill game on a daily. And I go there and get my pills too. So if I go there to get my pills to the Book of Alpha, you need to go there and get your pills too. Expendable says, what's good? Absolutely. What's good, bro? Yeah, we got to troll somebody disliked the video, but that's okay. Yeah, so if you're mad, that means you are too emotionally invested in her, which means that you are immature, which means you don't understand female nature. Let me tell you a secret. You can care for a woman and even love a woman, but still be composed and not get upset and not get knocked off your square. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. It's a trade secret. But anyway, never lose control. I got a buddy of mine who he always talking about a married guy. He always talking about how his woman is always getting under his skin. Always getting under his skin, his woman. What up, Expendable? We'll talk about that a little bit toward the end if you want to discuss that. What up, Fortitude? So my buddy, he always talking about how his wife is always getting under his skin, always making him mad. And I said, bruh, if your wife is making you mad, then she's in control. If your wife can get you to act out in anger by doing something, then you're not a man, bruh. You a puppet, a toy. If you're upset and angry, what you doing displaying it? What you doing displaying it? C. Douglas, what's happening? Appreciate it, bro. The super chat. C. Douglas says, indifference and minimizing the power of her womb is key. Salute, Black Ram. Salute to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. And that is wisdom. Indifference. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. So I said, bro, if she can push your buttons and make you react the way she wants you to react, to get her emotional response, because we know women are looking for emotional content. That's right, BOA and Mr. Limber. She's looking for emotional content. if you get upset and she can push your buttons, that means she can control you like a puppet. That's opposite of being a God King, opposite of manhood. Now, listen, you can express your disappointment as a matter of discipline. Again, you can express your disappointment to your woman as a matter of discipline. However, control your emotions. But only gods can control their emotions. Are you a god or are you a man? I'm a man and I'm a God King. Self-control is pivotal. Here go the thing. I was trying to tell my friend, my buddy, that, man, listen, you trying to master your woman. Look here. I said, bro, you trying to master your woman without mastering yourself first. How can you master your woman if you haven't mastered you first? Can't do that. That's like trying to teach and you ain't been taught. You can't do it. So if you allow your woman to upset you and get under your skin, she has the control. You are not in control of yourself nor your relationship. And trust me, she knows. And trust me, she does not respect you. She don't respect you. And although she's going to leave anyway, it's probably going to make it a little bit more ugly. It's going to make it a little bit more ugly. What up, West Coast Greg? Good to see you in here, bro. West Coast Greg is another fella, another brother who's been rocking with me a long time. And it was somebody, I think, who said they've been rocking with me since 2014. Appreciate you. Super chat was going, not the super chat, the chat was going kind of fast, so I didn't get a chance to shout your name out. But yeah, you don't allow a woman to push your buttons, man. You don't do that. And gentlemen, if you have YouTube channels, free promotion. If you have YouTube channels, Book of Alpharani, Mr. Limba, all the up and coming and new YouTubers, if the system will let you, feel free to post the links to your channels in the chat, if necessary, on the comment section, on the replay of this video, and hopefully it won't mark it as spam. Preem, thank you. Preem coming with the big old super chat in here. Man, Preem, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you dropping that for me. Every dime, every little bit helps to motivate for me to keep doing what I'm doing. I don't do this for pay, but the donations do help. Anybody who says they don't is not telling the truth. There's no lying in therapy. So I do appreciate each and every donation. But yeah, so you don't allow your woman to control your emotions and control how you feel by pressing your buttons. What up, IR Johnson? You just don't do that. That's not manhood. So, I was trying to get a brother a little advice on how to deal with his wife. But don't allow her to push your buttons. If she see you getting upset and that you can't handle your own emotions, everybody know that's pure weakness. Again, you have to master yourself. I think RZA in one of his RZA from Wu-Tang, I think in one of his songs, I think it was on a Wu-Tang Forever album. He said a line, he said, "It's common sense how I master my own circumference, you dense, will get locked up for doing something with my own reconnaissance." In other words, it's common sense to master yourself. Wu-Tang was dropping some gems back in the 90s. But you have to do that, man. You don't allow your woman to get you all worked up and out of whack. Bill Lee, J Take, Dale Nash, appreciate you. Aardvark. But yeah, you don't allow her to get you all upset and all in a rut. You don't allow her to push your buttons. So again, that was number 8. Do not allow her to piss you off. Always have control of yourself. Moving along to number 9 out of 20. On the list of the rules of a God King. Again, this is not my list. This list was posted on a video of mine. Tales of a Simp or Simp Tales. A guy named Sal made the list. I'm just adding the commentary. I take no credit for this list, but I do take credit for the commentary. Just to be clear. Alpha's up, beta's down, but what about sigmas? Sigma's up too. For all red pillars. All red pillars up. No matter what you call yourself. Itmore, MGTOW, SYBM. Alphas, red pillars, whatever you call yourself. The whole manosphere. So moving along to number 9. I see questions in here. I'm trying to get to questions toward the end. And we'll talk about those things. Number 9. Do what you want, when you want, and do not ever ask for permission for anything. Don't ask for permission for anything. Do what you want and when you want. I know that sounds like trivial, like, oh no, that's obvious, but no, it ain't. Not to many, not to all. For some, it's not. I know married men who have to have permission to do any and everything that they do. Permission from their woman, man. Permission. I don't understand how a man can live his life for even 1 second making statements like, oh, I gotta check with my wife first. Oh, I gotta see what my wife think first. But so many men do. And if they can't get permission to do A, B, C, E, F, and G from their wives, they'll lie to her about it. Like she's a parent. They gotta lie about it. Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie or even tell you anything that you don't need to know, first of all. But I'm definitely not gonna lie because I can't get your permission. I know it sounds real strange, but many married men have to lie. They have to get permissions for certain things. Buddy of mine I work with, we want to go to Vegas. I said, man, let's go to Vegas together one of these days. Oh man, I don't know, man. My wife, she don't really like that. I said, but you want to go and your wife don't like it? Yeah, he said his wife didn't like that. I said, wow, man. I said to myself, man, this is a lame. I can't imagine that. His wife won't like him going to Vegas? Goodness gracious. What up, Ashley W? Ashley W in the building, another YouTuber. Check out Ashley W. She got a lot of red pill content coming from a woman that will surprise you. Ashley W is one of the only women that I am subscribed to. Her and Dark Lourdes. I'm subscribed to 2 women on YouTube and 2 women only. And that's Ashley W and Dark Lourdes. And that's it. It's painful for me to hear women speak, but there are exceptions to the rule. But yeah, so the guy had to get permission. He said, no, he can't go on the trip. Cool, Ashley. Appreciate it. You can't go on this trip because your wife wouldn't like it. You need her permission, and she won't sign your permission slip. Because the answer will be no. So you have to make up an excuse or reason to go somewhere else that's not Vegas. Goodness. Or lie and say you somewhere else. And then my buddy, bless his heart, I ain't mad at him. This is my buddy though. Then he come back a couple of months later and say, oh yeah, I can go now because my wife want to go on a girls trip. So wait a minute. So she had to go on a girls trip first before you can decide to go on a man's trip. Goodness gracious. But this is how men live. Stefan Molejo, thank you, brother. Salute to you. Thank you for the super chat. But I said, man, now since your wife can go out with her girls, now you're free to go out with your guys. Like you're on the airplane and the captain tells you to buckle up and As you reach a certain height, you're now free to walk about the cabin. So once your wife goes on a girl's trip, now you're free to go on a man's trip. Wow. Crazy, man. I remember one time, this was a long time ago. I had a couple of girlfriends, and I told I told a couple of them that I was going to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And of course, they knew what Brazil was all about. And they were upset. They were upset. But I'm like, so what? I'm a grown man. I pay my own bills. I'm going to Rio. If you steal my girl when I get back, cool. If you're not, cool. I'm going where plenty of girls are. Oh, yeah, my partner is a simp, bro, for sure. He's definitely a simp. But needing permission, scared, man. So if she hadn't gone on a girl's trip, he could never go on a man's trip. Now he's free to go on a man's trip. Simply amazing. The life of a blue pill simp. Amazing. Needing permission. I say, hey, look, wifey, look, girlfriend. Look, side piece. Look, dip. I'm going to be out of town. So you won't be able to reach me. Talk to you when I get back. Don't need no permission. Don't need to sign my permission slip. Simps only need to apply, right? Number 11. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm talking about the rules of a God King. A list that I didn't create, but I'm providing the commentary. Thank you all for listening and checking in. Moving along to the next item on the list. Number 10 is don't tell her, show her. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Do not telegraph the rules for her. She must figure out what you want from her. On her own, conceal your intentions. I hope everybody caught that. I'm going to read it one more time. Number 10, don't tell her, show her. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Do not telegraph the rules to her. She must figure it out. She must figure out what you want from her on her own. Conceal your intentions. Now, I have to say that I have a tad bit of disagreement with this one. What up, Jerry Stacks? Appreciate you joining in. Smith Jr. What up, Ricky? Tyler Durden. Now, I disagree with this statement somewhat. I have to disagree here. And the reason why I have to disagree with this, not that I don't believe in concealing intent, that has its place. However, it says don't tell her, show her. I agree with that. But it says never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I understand that. But he also goes on to say do not telegraph the rules to her. She must figure it out on her own what she wants from you. That's where my disagreement lies. I do not believe a woman should have to figure out what you expect. I believe in being pragmatic. See, the female has been programmed by society. The female has been spoiled by simps. She needs to be trained and reprogrammed and given clear directives. This is military generalship. As the commander gives his troops clear directives, so should you give your woman. The expectancy then, once these directives are clear, the expectancy then is for such directives to be followed to the letter. And if not, disciplinary actions should follow such failure or dismissal for insubordination. We get that? Give your woman clear directives. She needs to know how she ought to be with you. She should not have to figure it out. Therefore, there can be no excuses. military generalship here. Tell her exactly what you want from her, exactly what you expect, and exactly how to go about such. Does she need to know what your left hand is doing? No. When a woman, when a man, when a person walks on a job, does he know everything? Does she know everything her employer is doing? Of course not. Does your woman need to know everything you're doing? Of course not. Does your woman need to know all of your intentions? Of course not. It's a feminine thing to think that you have to reveal everything to your woman. We're talking about the rules of a God King here. That's what we're talking about. Clear directives to follow. And if she doesn't follow those directives clearly, if she doesn't execute disciplinary action, which can be and not limited to not seeing her for a while. Continued insubordination can lead up to, but not limited to, her dismissal. If a woman won't go your way, disciplinary action follows. That's right. She doesn't need to know your secrets. Absolutely. Book of Alpha says she could take years to figure it out. You must instruct her. Absolutely. Clear, concise instruction. Absolutely. So that was just a little bit of a disagreement with that point there. I believe when you meet a woman, she's been so programmed by the society, she has to be reprogrammed. She has to be retaught. She needs to be taught your way of doing things. So that was 1 through 10. Short recap. I got that from the Book of Alpha. He does recaps of his points. I had to borrow that one from you, bro. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the rules of a God King. I'm providing a commentary to the points made in one of my videos called Tales of a Simp, a list made by a guy named Sal. He had 37 characteristics or traits of a king. And I'd like to say a God King. So 1 through 10, quick recap is: number 1, as a man, as a king, as a god, you make all the decisions. Number 2, you put yourself first. Your interest first. She should put your interest first as well. So you put your interest first, you put yourself first, and she also puts you first and your interest first. You know, that's what you do when you go to a job, right? When you go to a job, you're taking out 8 hours of your day, actually more when you're talking about time to travel and groom, to put your employer's interest first. How much more should your woman put your interest first? She should be all about your business. Number 3, do not argue, win through actions, never through argument. I do not argue with women. If she's not agreeable, I'll move along. You do not argue with subordinates. Period. Number 4, do not change anything in your life about yourself for her. She coming in with full acceptance of who and what you are. No changing. Number 5, do not apologize and do not offer any excuses for anything. Again, acceptance of the self. Acceptance of the self. Number 6, tell her no in the blink of an eye without apology or excuse. Self-explanatory. Number 7, do not allow her to take a boo-boo on your day or put you in a bad mood. Control yourself. Do not allow her to pull you into her emotional states. Number 9, do what you want when you want. Do not ever ask for permission. And number 10, don't tell her, show her that was my slight disagreement. Now we're going to go to the latter half of the show. It's been an hour and 30 minutes already. Man, time flies. But now we're going to go through 11, well, Yeah, 10 through 20. I'm sorry, 11 through 20, 21 actually. And then we're going to talk about a few other things before we get out of here. So let's get right to it. Number 11. Thanks again, C. Douglas, with another donation. Appreciate you, bro. Insubordination, I like that. Oh, yeah, insubordination. She is subordinate to you. You are the head, you are the ruler. And for my Bible readers, 1 Corinthians 11:3 is the text for that. Number 11. Stand your ground. Do not budge 1 inch from what you really want. Do not settle. Don't do it. Remember, she was born, she was created for you. Get what you want out of her. You know, men are really not that picky. Most men is not going to look past a woman because she has a little weight on her. This therapy, man. We don't lie here. Okay. I know a lot of guys say they only accept dimes. And that's true for some of us. Some of us only accept dimes. Some of us. But a lot of us do 9s and 8s and 7s and 6s and 5s and 4s and 3s and 2s and 1s. I ain't saying no names. But anyway. But when it comes to your treatment as a king, as a god, you have to come to expect a certain thing, a certain way. You have to. You must. It's mandatory. You must stand your ground. You must demand what you want. See, this separates the gods from the men here. Stand your ground. No matter what it is. When it comes to people, when it comes to your woman, stand your ground. Let's say she leaves you. Have you ever dealt with a woman and she breaks up with you like every other week? Don't allow that anyway. If she break up with you, make her pay for it if she want to come back. But anyway, but sometimes when she leaves you, it's a test. Let's say again, sometimes when your woman says she's done with you, it's a test. Don't allow her to play that game either. MGPX Beats. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He writes, check her medicine cabinet for psychological disorders and STDs. Stay safe, avoid toxic women and men. True, 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 and more true. A lot of women have psychological disorders. Definitely have to be aware of such. But when your woman leaves you, sometimes that's just a test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. She's just testing you. She's testing you to see if you will bend. She's testing you to see if you will compromise something. Change something. Change your behavior. She's testing. And if the creature, the sometimes ravenous creature, if she sees you bending, she will count it as weakness and she will seek to exploit every aspect of such said weakness. Stand your ground, even when it hurts. Even when the woman you care about, when she walks out the door because she can't have her way. Do not chase behind her. Do not text her. Do not call her. Let her go. No chasing, that is a simp position. No chasing, that is a simp position. Let her go. And when she returns, which she more than likely will do, if you're a man of principle, if you're a man of integrity, if you're a man of intelligence, if you are a red pill, if you are alpha, she will return. And when she comes back, when she returns, she must provide you with not only an apology, but she must also provide oblations, otherwise known as gifts, to make amends for causing a scene and discord. Because you stand your ground. She must bend. And when she comes back, she should come back begging. I had a woman once. No, I'll talk about that later. I got a story to tell, but I'm going to save that. An example of standing your ground. But I'll come back to that. But yeah, stand your ground. And she will come back if you project strength of character. I said strength of character. Women are looking for that. And let me tell you, according to the women that I've dealt with and deal with, there's a lack of men with strong character traits. It was a time in the society that was the hallmark of being a man, strength of character. But it's gone today. It's gone today. Strength of character. But I'm going to get back to that story in a minute that I was going to tell. Number 12. Number 12 on his list, not my list. This is somebody else's list. I'm just adding the commentary. But number 12 on the list. Do not complain to her about anything. And I'm not going to talk long about that one. It's very simple. Do not complain to her about anything. All I have to say about that one is this. Complaining to a subordinate is obviously weak. Her behavior is to be corrected, not complained about. Real simple. Correct the behavior. Allow her time to correct the behavior. Actually, it should be immediate. But no complaints. No complaints. Number 13. Moving along. Number 13 on his list, not my list, is do not criticize her. You don't care what she says or does. Criticizing is effeminate and acting like a nagging woman. We'll read it again for clarity's sake. Do not criticize her. You don't care what she says or does. Criticizing is effeminate and acting like a nagging woman. That's his list now, not my list. And I have a slight disagreement on this one as well. Slight disagreement. Now, of course, you don't nag. You don't nag a woman. Of course, you don't complain, but you don't nag her. No. In fact, when you interact with a woman, listen here. Listen here, fellas. What up, guy 007? Thanks for joining in, bro. But listen here, fellas. Dig this here, red pillars. Dig this here. You don't nag a woman, of course. You don't complain to her or even about her. But this is a point I want to make emphatically. When you deal with a woman, you always deal with a woman from a position of strength and not weakness. Strength, not weakness. So, of course, there's no need to nag. But a woman needs instructions. Because a woman without instruction is headed for destruction. So then there are times, if you're in a close relationship with the woman, that her behavior needs to be evaluated and criticized for necessary improvements on such. It's necessary. So I do believe in criticizing your woman for correction. For correction. Again, this is the strength position. For example now I've had to instruct a woman on how she is to serve me in the bed. And I've had to instruct more than one on this. How she's to treat me in the bed. How she's to serve me in the bed. See, she thought that I was a typical guy. She didn't recognize the peculiar and unique man that I am. So she thought that I like it just the way Mike liked it. She thought in the bed that I probably liked it just like Kevin liked it, how James liked it, how Dante liked it, how Derek liked it. But baby, wait, please, hold up. Come on now. I didn't say please. But baby, wait on, hold on, baby. I ain't Derek. Hold on, baby. I ain't Dante. Hold on, baby. I ain't James. I ain't Kevin. I ain't Keith. I ain't Mike. You got to do this the way that I like. So the way she was in the bed had to be criticized. Had to be. Had to be criticized. So that she can make the necessary adjustment. Don't treat me like you treated those other guys in the bed. Now, of course, this criticism made her feel bad. Oh, bless her heart. It made her feel bad. But so what? I'm not Mike and James. You're here to serve me. Reprogram. You're not doing your job, sweetie. You're not doing your job like I want it to be done. I'm your boss. I'm your master. Now, if you're dealing with a woman from a distance, you still should demand that she treat you a certain way in the bed. Now, he talks about not being concerned with her actions, and I agree with that, especially if you're dealing with her from a distance. But criticize a woman. Let her know how she's supposed to treat you, how she's supposed to act. Don't care if it hurt her feelings. It is absolutely impossible to deal with a woman and not hurt her feelings. Absolutely impossible. Impossibility. Her feelings will always be hurt. Some way, somehow. You ain't ever got to worry about that. So you look over those hurt feelings. Look past that. So criticize her. So I had to disagree. She needs to be criticized. Has to be criticized. Moving along to number 14. Her black body said, got to update her operating system. That's right. No, it's bad enough that we have to deal with used goods. That's just the nature of a thing here in the hells of North America. But you at least got to do it my way. I ain't James and John. Moving along. Number 14. His list, not my list. His list. He states, I'm sorry, number 14. I think I said 15. Number 14. He states, don't give a damn about her opinion. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Amen to that. Now listen, I'll hear her talk, but her opinions, especially if her opinions is about me, those opinions are irrelevant. Does your boss really care about what you think about him? Long as you come to work, long as you do your job, your feelings are your feelings. Your opinions are your opinions. A woman going to have her opinions, a woman going to have her feelings. A woman is always going to be mad. She's always going to be upset about something you're doing or what you ain't doing. That's her nature. But so what? Her opinions don't matter, especially if her opinions involve me. Recently, I had a woman that I deal with. One of the women that I deal with. She made a statement. Statement was simple. And her statement to me was, and quote, "You know what I noticed about you?" That's what she said. She said, "Rob," my real name. "Rob, you know what I noticed about you?" I stopped her right there because her findings and her opinions matter not to me. Stop right there. I don't want to know what you noticed about me. Mm-mm. See, in a relationship, I only allow a woman to praise my character, not critique it. I'm above such notions. Now, if a woman knows how to do something and I don't, I understand. Hey, I don't know how to cook this right here. I'll take your opinion. I'll take your advice on that. But as far as who I am, my character, how I do things, your opinions of me don't matter. Again, I only allow a woman to praise and never to critique my character. I am above such. No, no, no. I don't need a woman to tell me about myself. You know, women really love that. Let me tell you about yourself. Let me tell you about you. No, thank you. Who are you to criticize? Again, does she go on her job and criticize her boss how he run his company? Would you go to your job and tell your boss how to run his company? And if you don't have a boss, do you go to the government and tell them how to tax you? No, you don't. Neither should your woman come to you and tell you about yourself. You don't need that. Out of bounds, foul, irrelevant, not necessary. Speaking of fouls and out of bounds, if anybody is watching the game, please put the score in the chat. It is the playoffs. And I forgot that the game was on. And if I remembered, I probably wouldn't be here. But since I am, the show will continue. Number 15. His list, not my list. His list, not mine. Number 15, it says, do not let her talk to you about her problems. Do not allow a woman to talk to you about her problems. Let's examine that for a minute, because I do have a slight disagreement there. Slight disagreement. Unless you are in a close relationship with a woman. If you're not in a close relationship, if you are more of the pumping and dumping, the hitting it and leaving it, the catching and releasing, then of course you don't have time for that. You don't have time for listening to her problems. We have an arrangement. Sweetie pie, honey, baby, shouty, be at my house 4:30. When you get off work, be gone by 5:30. Then of course you ain't listening to her problems. But let's be practical. If you are dealing with her closely versus from a distance, then of course you're going to listen to her. This is therapy. We're not lying. Rare is a relationship between a man and a woman. Rare. And by relationship, I mean if you're spending time in a non-physically intimate way. Rare is a relationship with a woman or with anyone that can be just one-sided. It can't be 100% one-sided now. I believe in being real. I believe in being practical. If you are dealing with a woman more than the hitting and quitting, the pumping and dumping, the catching and releasing, you got more than an arrangement. If you're spending time with her outside the bedroom, there's no way you can say you would never listen to her. That doesn't even make even human sense, because everybody wants to be heard. And let me tell you about a woman, as you already know. Women need to talk. Lord Bonanza, what's up, bro? Thanks for joining. But women need to talk. So even though you are a king, a God king, there is some giving on your part. You are benevolent, right? So I'm going to say and be honest that you're not going to just ignore a woman. You're not going to ignore her being there. I'm not going to say you should ignore her. And you're dealing with a woman, that means she's always going to have a problem. I say again, you're dealing with a woman, she's always going to have a problem in her life. Self-created, of course. That is the nature of the creature. Now, here's the catch. She's always going to have a problem. She's going to always need to talk. Let her talk. However, what you do is limit how much of it that you are willing to hear. And for me, what is an absolute no is hearing her express me as being the problem. You don't like who I am or what I am, then leave me. And speaking of which, I had a story of standing your ground. And it relates to listening to problems. So this was some years ago, maybe about 6-7 years ago. I live in Chicago, and I was dealing with this woman who at the time was a police officer in California. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believed she worked for the California Highway Patrol. Because I remember she used to send me pictures of her AK that was mounted in her in the back seat. So she was a cop from California. The reason why I'm stating her profession, because in that profession, women who do those things tend to be quite aggressive, and aggressive she was. In fact, dealing with her, it was many times I had to put in her place because she thought I was her subordinate. But anyway, this particular woman, cop in California, talking about standing your ground. So I was dating her for a while. Now it was long distance. She had a kid. I didn't go to California to deal with her. Yes, I deal with single mothers. Okay. There's no line in therapy. I do deal with single mothers. I do, and will. But on my terms, though. That's the difference. Anyway, so she would come here to Chicago to visit because she had family. In fact, she's from Chicago, so she had family here. And she was used to being treated a certain way. She was used to being courted a certain way. Thanks for the super chat, West Coast Greg. So she was used to being treated a certain way. And I guess she wasn't receiving this treatment from me because I'm rather cheap. I don't make it a habit of going out on dates and spending money. That's just who I am. I've always been this way. But anyway, she had several gripes with me. And this goes into standing your ground and not allowing women to criticize you or express you as a problem or give her opinions of you. So she wanted to tell me that the relationship was over. So she called me up and said, well, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to break up with you. We're going to stop. And the reason why is, I said, hold up. As a cop from California, she wasn't used to hearing that. I said, hold up, baby. You ain't even got to tell me. You ain't even got to tell me what you don't like, what you do like, what you dislike, why you're leaving me. I told her, have a nice life. Have a nice life. And she was stunned. And I simply hung up the phone. I don't need a woman to tell me why she don't want to deal with me no more. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need a breakdown, a rundown of my character, a closing argument, an exit statement from a woman telling me how poor of a boyfriend or performer of her servitude that I am. No, thank you. I simply hung up the phone. Now, what she did, in being stunned by this, she began to send me gifts by mail, apologizing and begging to come back, in which I did allow her to do so, in which she eventually left permanently. Now, my point in that was real simple. I didn't allow her to criticize me, critique me. And when she decided to leave, I help her see the door, figuratively speaking. And that's the way a God King operates in relationships. Again, when you deal with a woman, you must do so from a position of strength, even when it hurts. Number 16. Move it along. Number 16 actually goes along with what I just said. Number 16, never be afraid to hang up or walk out on her and never speak to her again. Sound advice, sound teaching there. Let's explore it a little bit. You should always view her as temporal. All relationships are temporary. You should always be willing to walk away if you deem necessary. Now, me personally, I believe in letting her leave. See my video on the catch and release method. However, there may be a time in your life when you must be the one to walk away. For instance, I don't knowingly share Kitty. Although I deal with multiple women, it is not allowed for her to deal with other men. So for me, it's easy for me to lose an attraction and my feelings for a woman if she steps out on me. Now, I can say this very, very confidently from personal experience. When a woman has stepped out, it wasn't immediate, but I do lose my attraction for her relatively quickly. Speaking of which, listen, man. Every point that I make in my videos, every point that I've made in this live stream, each of these points in my life, I've been tried and tested and proven. All of these principles, all of these points, all of these behaviors, all of them. Now, for me, some of them were a struggle. It wasn't always easy. I have been hurt emotionally quite a few times. But in the last 18 years or so, I've put my principles above whatever love or pain that I've felt for a woman. Again, I've suffered many times over, suffered to stand on my principle. Sade says, you people may be too young, but if you know who Sade is, give me a number 1 in the super chat before I make this point. Not the super chat, I'm sorry. Number 1 in the chat. Getting a little tongue tied. Let me sip a little water. If you know who Sade is, give me a number 1 in the comment section. Because I have a point to make. Sade had a song, a beautiful song. I'm not going to sing it, but Sade had a beautiful song. Beautiful song. And that song was, love is stronger than pride. Y'all familiar with Sade's song? Love is stronger than pride. We got a few women in the stream. I know the ladies know what I'm talking about. Love is stronger than pride was the name of the tune. I'm just finna be real a little bit. This is therapy. Love is stronger than pride. Sade. Is Sade right or is Sade wrong? Is love stronger than pride? Some of you may not know the song. But love is stronger than pride for the female. Yes. Love is stronger than pride for the woman. Oh, yeah. Yes. It's supposed to be stronger than pride. Her love for you should be stronger than her pride. For the female, yes. As a woman, show me, baby. As a woman, baby, show me that you are willing to go beyond your self-imposed limitation to please me. Yes. Indeed. Show me, baby, that you're willing to go beyond your limitations, self-imposed, to please me. Because Your love is stronger than pride. In fact, swallow your pride, lady. Swallow my pride, lady. So, yeah, swallow your pride. For you, woman, love is stronger than pride. Do the things that you said that you would never do for me, baby. Do the things that you've never done before for me, baby. Do for me what you have never done for any man. Because love for you, O woman, is stronger than pride. But for the man, no. Love is not stronger than pride. No, it's not. No, 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 no. For you as a man, pride is everything that you have and all that you truly possess as a man. And for you as a man, your pride is in your principles, your integrity, and your belief. Never, ever compromise that. So for you, no, pride is stronger than love. Women have walked away from me because I held on to my pride, my integrity, and my principles, staying true to myself, and it hurt. But my love for her is not stronger than my pride, not stronger than who I am. See, she must become who you want her to be, and you must remain who you are, man. Y'all hear me out there? So for you, your pride is everything. Example. Example. I believe in being pragmatic, right? Example. Your pride is stronger than love. Her love should be stronger than her pride. You never compromise your beliefs. Never compromise that. That's where your pride comes from. Your principles. That's where your pride comes from. See, the Most High despises those who compromise their pride, those who compromise their beliefs, those who compromise their principles and their integrity. The Most High despises. He despises such compromising men. Listen, if the simp Adam would have upheld his pride through principle, he would not have eaten from the tree at Eve's behest. See, she should have laid down her pride. But instead, he laid down his pride for her. And where did that get us? Where? It got us to our state now. This is where we are. So again, her love is stronger than pride, but your pride is stronger than any love you have to have for a woman. She is committed to you, and you are committed to your God, your principles, your integrity, your beliefs. That's what you commit to. You commit to principle, and she commit to you. You commit to your God, she commits to you. You do not commit to her. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So yeah, her love should be stronger than her pride. Moving along to number 17. If you're just tuning in, this is Sal's list of the rules of a king, the rules of a God king. We on number 17 out of 20. We're almost done. Number 17. Don't tell her how you feel about her. Don't tell her you love her or despise her. Don't tell her anything. Don't care. Be indifferent. Let her wonder. I'll read that one more time for clarity's sake. Don't tell her how you feel about her. Don't tell her you love her or despise her. Don't tell her anything. Don't care. Be indifferent. Let her wonder. Good point. In the Tanakh, The book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 5 states, keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in your bosom. Never speak your whole mind to a woman. Never reveal your whole heart to these creatures. Primary reason is because they can't even begin to appreciate you for doing such due to her narcissistic nature. And also because she will seek to use what you relate to her in some sort of way to exploit it as a weakness. You tell her your heart, you reveal your whole heart to her, she will look for weaknesses to exploit. Just like Samson did Delilah. Just like Samson did Delilah. Samson told Delilah what his weaknesses were. He told her exactly how to beat him. And as a man, if you reveal too much of yourself to her, she will know exactly how to beat you. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth closed. Even if you don't have anything within you that can be exploited, still shut up. Shut up. Keep your lips. See, to her, right? To her, you are not a human being anyway. And any perceivable weaknesses will be a turnoff to her. Most of them are phony creatures. So sometimes you got to be a little phony too. Not necessarily to yourself, but to her. We are vulnerable as men, but you keep that vulnerability to yourself. Never show weakness, show strength. That's fighting fire with fire. Keep your secrets and know that as a woman, she has plenty of her own. And rest assured that a woman's secrets, 99.9% of the time, a woman's secrets involves men. And know that 99.9% of all women have secrets, secrets that they will not reveal to you from the past, present. Know this. Know this. Understand this. Realize this, men. Red Pill Lifesaver. Black Ram 313 in the building. Game recognized game. Thank you, Red Pill Lifesaver. I appreciate you. Another guy who's been rocking with me for a long time. Always coming in the comment section. Always there. Been rocking with me for a long time. I feel like I know you, brother. Appreciate you, Red Pill Lifesaver. Think you've been around with me for day one. Hopefully, you can make this men's trip too. Hope to see all of us there. Lord Bonanza, you too. David Bowman, you too. All the guys. But yeah, that's the thing. Now, where was I? Let me make a point real quick. Going back to another statement. When I was talking about how I've had to stand on my principles even when it hurts, is because for me, my real therapy, my weaknesses that I can reveal while I'm in therapy, is because I love the idea of loving. I love that. I like everything there is about a woman except when she talking nonsense for the most part. In fact, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me talk about something real quick. I'm gonna go back to 17. So I'm gonna finish 18. I'm gonna go back to 17 because it's a point I want to make. This is live, so no editing of this. I finished the point that every woman has secrets. Keep your lips to yourself. But in number 17, he talked about not telling her how you feel and remaining indifferent. So I want to speak to that indifference for a minute. That's real game, indifference. Indifference makes all the difference, right? We have to learn to be indifferent. In 17, I'm going back to that. He said, let her wonder. And I agree with this. When you first meet a woman, you want to let her wonder about who you are, especially early on. And he talks about never letting a woman know that you love her or never saying the words "I love you." Let me deal with that because I kind of look past that and jump to 18. So in 17, talked about being indifferent and never saying the L word. Now, this is therapy, and we know what our number one rule is in therapy. There's no lying in therapy. No lying in therapy, right? That's what this is about. This is a therapy session, right? Now, he says, never tell her you love her, never tell her you despise her, be indifferent. Now, I have and I do use the L word. Yes. Yes, I use the L word. However, I can use the L word because my love for any woman, again, is from a position of strength. My love for a woman is out of strength and confidence. My love for a woman is out of strength and confidence. My love for a woman is out of strength and confidence. My love for a woman is out of strength and confidence, not weakness and fear. Not weakness and fear. Huge difference. I'm liberated. I do not have any fear of losing a woman like most blue pill men do. I've lost a lot in my lifetime. Will I be disappointed? Yes. Can I say I will be hurt? Yes. Do I fear it? No. I do not fear a woman leaving me at all, period. I could possibly even shed a tear or 2 or 3 or 1,500. However, I do not fear a woman leaving me. Been there, done that, and probably do it many more times in this lifetime. Life is about pain. And real game is adapting and adopting to each and every circumstance, each pain, each tragedy, looking forward and moving on and getting along with your life. Period. So I love out of strength, not weakness. And here go the thing about love. When it comes to loving a woman, we talk about love for a minute. When it comes to loving a woman, I can only love a woman. I can only love a woman who is a reflection of me. It's the only way. If she is a reflection of me, I can love that because I love myself. And once a woman no longer desires or has the ability to reflect my personhood, my love will turn off. So there's no way that I can love a rebellious woman. Now, see, I know this from experience, not from talk. This ain't just talk. Yeah, they are all succubuses, but this is therapy, and there's no lying in therapy. I grow a disdain for a rebellious woman. I'm instantly shut down in my feelings, and I lose my attraction once a woman starts to not reflect me. When a woman thinks she's tough and she's a boss, when she loses that feminine energy, then I lose my desire for her. It's an automatic process that begins. So there's no fear for me losing a woman. And I'm not ashamed to say that I have loved, do love, and will love women, and particular women. I like experiencing women. I like having experiences with women. Again, this is therapy. I enjoy the female very much. And I also enjoy the romance. I also enjoy the emotions. I like the walk in the parks. I like the sunrises. I like the dinners. I like the movies with her. I enjoy the women in my life. I enjoy the emotions of the relationship. However, I am not ruled by the women in my life, and I'm not ruled by such emotions. I don't live out of fear. I don't deal with women out of fear of losing them. What you fear to lose controls you. I see that most married men are afraid of their wives. He's scared. He loves out of fear, not strength. He's scared. Why is he scared? He's scared of that alimony, that child support. He's scared of losing her. He's scared of the emotional pain, the heartbreak. I'm used to heartbreak. I've learned to embrace it and deal with it and push forward like a true soldier would. So again, I don't have those issues of fear. And I can express my care and concern about a woman that I'm dealing with who is obedient to me, who serves me, and who is a reflection of me. Again, I can only love a woman that is a reflection of me. Either she reflects you or she reflects the world. And what is the world but a greedy, nasty, dirty, filthy, ungodly place? And if she reflects that, then there's no love for me for her. However, she reflects me, one in whom wants to live according to the law, statutes, and commandments. If she reflects me, my desires, my desire for righteousness, if she can reflect that, then I can love her through strength and not fear, man. See, of course, I wouldn't recommend a man loving a woman if you're going to do it out of fear, if you don't know what you're doing. But I can enjoy a woman, man. I can enjoy her because I ain't scared. I can enjoy her. And when the time comes when I can't enjoy her anymore, on to the next one. All relationships are temporary. Life is temporary. Losses are a part of life, man. Are you afraid of life? Life comes with loss. When a woman leaves, hey, I enjoyed the time we spent. See you later. Wish the best for you. And that's the thing. So I just wanted to make that point about being indifferent and using the L word. I kind of looked past that, but I wanted to jump back on that. Number 19. You got about 2 or 3 more items to go. Number 19. Never get jealous. Never get jealous. Never get jealous. What's the score on the game, Cootie Slide? Throw it in the comment section real quick. Never get jealous. Jealousy can be right and justified. I say again, jealousy can be right and jealousy can be justified or justifiable. Jealousy is right and justified for something that belongs to you. But here go the point. Most of the time, many of the time, majority of the time, she doesn't belong to you. Thanks, bro, for the update on the game. So jealousy is justified for something that belongs to you, but she does not belong to you. She belongs to the community. She don't belong to you. She belongs to the community of men that she's been with, or that she's currently with, or will be with after you. More than likely, you're neither her first nor her last. Side note, isn't the guy that goes last worst off because you have to go behind everybody else? Just saying. But anyway, man, think about that. Would you want to go last in the bathtub, dirty water after 50 men or 15 men 25 men has used it before you. Yuck. But anyway, you can only be jealous, you can only protect, you can only preserve what's yours. And none of them are yours, none of them are ours, so act accordingly. Being jealous over the modern thought and strumpet is weak for sure. Now, how can I say that, Ram? You're just talking about loving a woman. Again, I love from strength, not weakness. I didn't say I trust her. Just because I love her, don't mean I trust her. I don't mean that. But you're only jealous of what's yours. And most of them don't belong to you. That's right, Gilbert Bird. She belongs to the game. Belongs to the game, not you. That's just how it goes. But you do have a right to be jealous over something that belongs to you. But again, she is not ours. She is not yours. Speaking of the whole of them. Number 20 and 21, I'm going to run them together. Number 20 is, again, this is Sal's list, not my list. I'm just adding a commentary. Number 20 is, do not say anything bad about your exes. Do not answer any questions about your exes. Don't mention your exes. You have no exes. You have no past. Number 21, do not say anything about your childhood. Do not say anything bad about your parents whatsoever. You have no past. Interesting. I think the less that she knows, the best. She really isn't that interested in you anyway. See, she would much rather tell you about her past and not know about yours. I'm not saying that you should necessarily listen, but she is so self-centered, that she develops feelings for you based on how well you listen to what she has to say about herself. No, that doesn't sound sensical or like it makes sense, but trust me, that's what they do. See, she's so self-centered that developing feelings for you is non-existent. That's female nature. Amazing. Here's something about female nature. Here's a revelation. Let me get a little drink of water here. Here's a revelation. Maybe not a revelation for you, but it was a revelation for me. A revelation about female nature. And I've expressed this before, but it bears repeating. A revelation about female nature. Listen. A woman does not fall for you. She doesn't love you for you. She can't even begin to love you for you. She can't. A woman does not love you for you. She does not love you for who you are, your character, or any of those things. Listen, because this is a little different. I know you've heard these terms before, but this is a little different. Dig this here. What she loves is the relationship, not you. I say again, what a woman loves is the relationship. She does not love you. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? She loves the way you relate. Key word, key phrase. She loves the way you relate to her. She loves how you listen and treat her, how you make her feel. Nothing there is about you and who you are unless it directly relates to her. In other words, she loves what you do for her. She doesn't love you. She loves the relationship, how you relate to her, how you make her feel, how you listen to her. And only concern she has about you and your character is only that which relates directly to her in a tangible way. So she doesn't really care about your exes. She doesn't really care about your family, your parents, unless those things pose a conflict in what she receives from you. Now, that's pure uncut solipsism on her behalf. That's her nature. And yes, she doesn't need to know much about your past. Let that be a mystery. However, she doesn't even care or concern about that. She loves the relationship, how you relate to her. You don't matter. Your character, who you are, does not matter. She can't even begin to appreciate a man or a person's character. She sees the world as something to be received. She doesn't look to give, she looks to receive. She is a receiver, a receptacle. And there's about 16 more items on Salchih's list. Now, most are willing. I'll try to do that on another live stream, maybe on Cognac Thoughts Part 4. Just to let you know, Women Are Nasty 2.0 had to be posted on Patreon, of course, because it's too raw for YouTube. So if you guys want to check that out, go to my Patreon page and show me your support there if you wish to do so. Couldn't put that video on YouTube. It would get flagged down immediately, of course. But yeah, that was 1 through 20 of Sal's list of the rules of a God King. Some parts I agree with, some I disagree with. A lot of great points that he made. Again, I didn't come up with the list, but the list was so potent that I had to do a live stream about it. Had to. Now, that concludes the rules of a God King. I'm going to look in the comments section and see what you guys got to say. Chop it up for a little bit before we end the live stream and put it in the history books or archives of YouTube, I should say. I would rather say. So let's see what we got going on out there. Questions, comments. What do we have? Any questions, any comments before we end the stream? Let me see what we got out here. Let me read some of these comments. Outlaw Mind said, attached to nothing but my principles. What else we got to say? Okay, Boston in the lead. Appreciate that. Any questions? Any comments? We got a lot of comments early on. Let's see if anybody got anything to say currently. A lot of questions earlier. I'm gonna go back to a question, statement I heard earlier. Robert Merrick says he took this chick to the beach on a weekend and took her pics on the beach for Instagram. And AM already 200 in the hole, and all I got was a hug and kiss on the cheek. Yeah, she used you, bro. She definitely used you. Goodness gracious, that's rough. Jack Carpenter, who's the other woman you're subscribed to besides Ashley W? That is, her name is Dark Lordess of Black Domestic Discipline. You can check her out. Tony S. Charles, great commentary as usual. Thank you, bro. Let's see. Black man says, why do women have a stink attitude and try to control men? Simply because they can. She has a stink attitude because no matter what, somebody's going to want her. She can be overweight. She can have a bunch of kids. She ain't got to brush her teeth. She ain't got to comb her hair. And there are going to be guys who want to wife her up still, guys who want to lay with her. So she can have a stank attitude. She can act the way she wants. She can demand what she wants. She can be controlling as she wants because she's the object of desire. In other words, for her, it's a seller's market because guys are always looking to buy. So since we give them our attention, since we chase after them, they get to be in the driver's seat and be as picky and as mean and as nasty as they want to be. What do I think about female peacocking? I think it's a natural order of things, especially in this modern society. A woman showing off her clothes and her goods and trying to attract a mate. The thing about peacocking and the thing about women trying to attract men is that I noticed that a woman can have a man at home, can be everything that she's wanted, but she's still going to peacock because one thing I've noticed is that not only does a woman want to be wanted by her man, but she wants to be wanted by all men. And I found it amazing that she wants to attract every man. She wants to walk down the street and she wants every man to want her. Disgusting. Book of Deuteronomy says the worst looking chicks have as many options as the average man. That's true. I would even go on to say, BOA, that the worst looking chick has more options than the average guy. For sure. Much more. 10 times more at least. Maybe even 100. Let's see. What else we got? Women out here drafting simps on purpose for control purposes. Absolutely. Of course. It's always a simp willing and waiting and wanting to be drafted. What else we got? What else we got? What part in the Bible that states a man's seed is over the woman? Will 33, I need you to be a little bit more specific. I don't know what you mean by the seed is over the woman. What do you mean by the seed is? Can you be a little bit more specific? And I can try to find that possibly. What else we got? What else we got? Tyler Rand the Great says, if women are this mentally sick, men must be worst. I've always thought that, bro. For as bad as she is, and us still desiring, wanting, and chasing, and pursuing, and pushing, yeah, we have to be worse than her. The thirst of a man is unreal. The things that a man will put up with. I mean, look at Adam. I mean, there is absolutely nothing a man won't do to please a woman. And I notice in this modern society, women have so many limitations on what they're willing to do. But literally most men, because most men are blue pillars, have no limitations on what they would do to impress and please the female. 10-2 line says 2 Samuel 6. So David said to Michal, my child, it was before the Lord who chose me above your father and above all his house to appoint me ruler. Absolutely. Absolutely. Will 33 says the man's seed is the beginning and start of life. Yes, it is. A man's seed is the beginning and start of life. The Jeopardy question, the answer is, who is Adam? Isn't he the progenitor? Who is Jacob? Isn't he the progenitor of the children of Israel? Absolutely. The seed is what's important. But we do need ground to plant it in, though. Jerry Stacks, yeah, they busted and disgusted, man. And they don't have to be good looking anymore. For what? If you would take a woman as she is, why does she have to change anything? Don't have to at all. Any thoughts on a wedding with Meghan and the Prince? Let me see. Not really. Not really. I know a lot of women will get their panties in a bunch because of that, and now all of them think they can get a prince from somewhere, but no, they live in fairy tale land. So I don't have really too much to say because I really don't know much about it. I really didn't follow it. I've heard a few things in passing, but not a whole lot. Why do women ghost dudes when texting? Is it an ego boost? Absolutely, it's an ego boost. She gets her feel. She gets her climax, so to speak, just by knowing that you want her. She just want to be wanted. She can't deal with every man that wants her. But just getting that attention, that's enough for that. That's satiating for her. You giving her attention and her being able to blow you off and you still wanting to give her attention is enough for her to boost her ego and enough for her to be satisfied. It does wonders for her ego. Peiosis, I can't spell that last one. It says, what steps do I take after swallowing this red pill? It hurts. How do I proceed with this knowledge? You proceed with the knowledge by listening to all my videos, listening to all the Book of Aronimi's videos, all of the men that you've seen here. It's a process of internalization. The thing is this: people don't think listening to something is effective. Everybody want to know what are the solutions and what do you do. But the first step is to absorb the knowledge and internalize it. So it's one thing to hear; it's another thing to internalize what you're hearing. The more you listen to it, the more you internalize it, and then you'll be able to walk and act it out. Real simple. So you want to fill your ears as much as possible with red pill knowledge. Once you internalize that, you will be tested to see if you will stand up to the principles in which you pledge your allegiance to, so to speak. So the key is absorption. Absorption is the key. And once you absorb it and internalize it, you will be tested, and that's how you walk it out. And trust me, you will be tested. Let's see what else. Red Pill Lifestyle says they'll peacock in their man's presence. He's worried about coming off as insecure, and that's how she wants you to think. Absolutely. She wants you to think it's insecure so she can do what she want to do. Masters at manipulation they are. Outlaw Mind says, in the Bible, the women were always the greatest enemies, but are women really to blame? These strong men, even kings, allowed themselves to be influenced by them. Crazy. No, the woman is not the greatest enemy. The greatest enemy is you. Book of Aronimi, I'm sure he'll agree with this. A woman is only going to do what you allow her to do. So the greatest enemy of mankind is mankind. The greatest enemy to man is man. The greatest enemy of you is you. That's why you have to master yourself. So a woman is only going to do what she's allowed to do, whether it's by an individual man or whether it's by the society at large. A woman is only going to do that in which you allow her, period. And if you stand on your principles, you understand this red pill game, you can shoot that down each and every time. Let's see what else we got. Just let your alphaness flow. Let's see what else we got before we get out of here. Telegram the Great says, I had a BAW come to my place and tell me she is unsure if she's pregnant or not. Granted, this was before we even did the do, and still expecting me to hit. A tad shocked because I rejected her. Wow. You know, the average guy would have went in anyway. The average guy wouldn't have cared if she was pregnant, would have went in. I'm probably the average guy too, just saying. Let's see. What else we got? Marriage is a benefit for women, not men. Exactly, black man. Let's see. That's how I know men are truly sick, because they would have had sex with a woman who was pregnant or may not be pregnant by another man. Yeah, that is disgusting. It is disgusting. I can't say I wouldn't have hit. Hey, I ain't saying I ain't disgusting either. I'm probably guilty of that. But no, I wouldn't have, because only because my principles of the law, statutes, and commandments. If it wasn't for the law of the Most High, because of course if she's pregnant, she has a man, whether she acknowledges it or not. But because of the laws of Yah, I would pass it up. But in the past, I probably would have. But I'm a better man today than I was yesterday. Let's see. I agree with you, David Bowman. But the BW has did that, and she is the most fierce creature on earth. However, who gave her the rights to do so? Our enemies gave her the right to do so. Remember, women have power indirectly. And this is something about nature. We don't complain about female nature. We accept it, we understand it, but you have to understand female nature in context. Uh, she's not a free moral agent on her own. She doesn't have the power and strength to take over nations or even create nations. We give her too much credit. She doesn't have the creative prowess nor the strength or the fortitude to build nations, make wars, determine policies. All these things are done by simps. All these things are done for her. Everything that she has, whether it's good or bad, has been given to her. Whether it's the destruction of the embryo, whether it's feminine, whatever you call it, whatever it is, she has been given this. And without these uh, props, without these rewards, without these things, she is powerless. Her power has to be given to her. She does not acquire it by her own hand, by her own might. Therefore, who's ultimately responsible are the men in charge. So this is why I blame the simps first. The biggest simp is the system itself. The system of feminism is to blame first and primary. That's the first thing. The second blame goes to all the simps, the 95% of them, and then her. She is disgusting, though. But however, I blame the simps first. I blame the system first. How many videos will I have on Patreon? Just one. So my Patreon subscriptions, however it goes, I'm new to it. It'll just be a cost per video. It won't be a monthly thing. I'll put out a video every now and then, and it'll be a pay per video, and very cheap at that. What up, monsters of the Midway? Smith Jr. said, "Pregnant P is the bomb." I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. What else we got out here? Black Ronan said, a married woman hit on me today and I turned her down because her husband is deployed overseas. Before taking the red pill, I would have gone for it. It's good to have a moral code. Absolutely, brother. Thank you, Black Ron. I'm glad you had the integrity and the principle enough not to deal with another man's woman. That's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. We don't need to do that. You don't need to be going around dealing with another man's woman. West Side stand up. Absolutely. West Side show. C. Douglas says they have been weaponized against us. Absolutely. That's the best way to put it. Yeah. David Bowman says, okay, Black Ram. So, David, just converse with me. David Bowman, do you agree with my statements about who's ultimately responsible? If not, in a brief explanation, I can read that. David Little says, I'm tired of angry BWs. Help me. They're like a black hole of blame. David Little, see my video on Avoiding Her. See my video on Why I Don't Argue with Women. See my video. Man, I got a lot on that. I can't even name all of them. But yeah, we have to learn to ignore the BAW. We have to learn to ignore the succubus. We have to learn to do so. We got to learn that. Book of Alpharoni says they are all willing weapons is the worst part of it. Absolutely. They are willing weapons. Kenwood says, Black Round, what's up? Just check my brother for real. Oh, checking in. What up, Kenwood? Appreciate you. Quadash says, do you co-sign brothers dating or marrying out? Yes, I do. I don't believe in a legal marriage certificate. I believe that you are what your father is. So if an Israelite man puts his seed into a ground of, or let's say, a Moabite, and that Moabite will be an Israelite. Some people have issues with that and believe that it's against Torah to deal with women outside of their tribe. However, there's too many examples that go contrary to that. Me personally, I don't want to weaken my gene pool by having children with outsiders. However, I won't knock a man who does, and I can understand why. But I also don't want to have any more children, and I don't believe in a marriage license certificate. And I believe you have to be very cautious if living with a woman, and it's preferable that you don't live with a woman. Definitely preferable, but to each man his own. Uh, Contrary to proper belief, some men may be able to deal with that. Don't assume that every man's weakness is the same. Some men may be successful living with a woman. Some men may not. It just depends. Let's see what else. Black woman said, "Don't argue with men either." Absolutely, don't argue with anybody. Actually, Ricky says, "How about women that are extremely friendly to you but turn you down when you tell them you are attracted to them?" That's a no-no. Never tell a woman you're attracted to her. I believe in being indirect. Some people believe in being direct. With a direct approach, I believe in being indirect. She got what she wanted. She wanted you to want her, and once you gave her that, then that was it. Uh, what you were supposed to do in that situation, Ricky, if she was being extremely friendly, you should try to push the envelope to try to get her in the bed. That should have been your MO. And if she wasn't going for it, then fine. Then she was just playing around being silly. But don't ever state your interest. Always insinuate your interest. Never state your interest to a woman. Always insinuate it. I believe in being indirect. I believe in being mysterious. Let her wonder. When she's wondering what you're thinking, that means she's thinking about you. And you want to be on her mind. This is the art of seduction, staying on a woman's mind. Indirect game is what I believe in. Art of Seduction is a great book by Robert Greene. He talks about that in the book, or gives examples of such. Let's see what else we got going on. Sex Addict said it's not just that a woman's minds are toxic, their bodies are toxic as well. Absolutely. Like Scarface says, their womb are polluted. Let's see. Outlaw Mind says, at Ricky, when you give them validation, they get satisfied. Don't put them on a pedestal. Absolutely. No validation. Jack Carbon, see my video on the golden body? Absolutely. That's the sleeper right there, Jack Carbon. My video on the golden body. A lot of people didn't check that out, but it's actually one of my favorite videos, actually. Let's see what else we got out here. Let me go back up. Let me see. No problem. Kadash. Mr. Limbo, no virginity, no relationship. I hear you, man. Let me go back up. I was missing some of these comments. I hear you, man. Because technically, as we know, only a virgin can really be a wife. She's the only one. That's the only type of woman that can readily receive you as a man completely without distraction. A woman that's a non-virgin, a woman who has children, is distracted. She can't totally be a wife. She cannot totally receive you. Let me go back up. I think, let's see. I hear you, Jerry Stacks. Let's see. Asian Now Born says, your favorite video is The Black Man Has Nothing But Enemies. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I do think that was a classic, if I can say so myself. Not to toot my own horn, right? Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Months of a Midway says, when a woman starts bickering and arguing, I'm walking away. No man should have put up with being disrespected by a woman. Truly, 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 bro. Truly, truly, truly. What am I doing here? Oh, super chat. Mikado the Great, what's up, bro? Says, what up, Master Ram? Just wanted to drop a quick shout out to my page on Instagram, Afro Masculinity, for all my Ibmore brothers. Absolutely. Check out his Instagram page, Afro Masculinity. Shout out to Ibmore. Appreciate the super chat, bro. And definitely check out his Afro Masculinity page for Ibmore. Thank you, bro. Let's see what else we got. A few more statements and questions before we get out of here. Let me get a final check of the game score. I know some guys in there watching the game and listening. Let me get that last check real quick. So since I can't look at it at this point. Talia the Great, Machiavelli the King, or Machiavelli the Prince. Absolutely. Let's see. Ram, make some more game videos. Oh man, I might have to do that. Might have to do another long series on the game for sure. Have to revisit that. Kodash Chaya, are you talking? You asking me that question about a video being available? If you asking me that question, let me know what video you referring to. But yeah, I'll try to make some more game videos in the future though, for sure. Chief Fu says, "Damn, this live stream I was in class thought it was a video." No, we live, bro. Hope you can check out the playback. Black Man says, "Hey, Black Ram, do you think there is a contrast between Western civilization women and Eastern civilization women as far as submissions?" A contrast, absolutely, a very sharp contrast. In fact, I may do a whole video about that soon. But definitely women in Eastern countries are much more submissive, for sure. Much more easy to get along with. The American woman is more than a handful to deal with, to say the least. Am I going to do another SHTF video? Man, I've been wanting to do a prepping video and another Fall of America video. I actually want to do a live stream on that, man. So stay tuned. I want to do an end of the world live stream where I want to talk about the mark of the beast. I want to talk about global pandemics. I want to talk about possible World War III scenarios. I want to talk about prepping. I want to talk about economic collapse. I want to talk about super volcanism. I want to talk about Nibiru and Planet X. Not sure if you guys would be interested in such, but I'm going to try my luck one day and throw that type of live stream up to see if the fellows will be interested in such. If not, I guess I'll talk to myself. Maurice Lindsay, appreciate you, bro. Shalom to you as well. Let's see. What else we got here? Brother F says, Ram, what do you do if you got a virgin girl, but she crazy? Oh, man. I was always told, don't stick your Peter in crazy. So I guess that goes for a virgin too. So wise men have always told me, don't stick your Peter in crazy. So same applies. Don't do crazy, man. And if you pop a virgin, that's your wife, biblically speaking. So you ain't supposed to be getting rid of her. So don't do it. Let's see. Oh, the Black Man Has Enemies video. Actually, I think YouTube took that down. I might have to put that on Patreon. Check on my Black Ram for Vengeance channel. I know it was an issue with it. It may be hard. You may not be able to search for it, but you can go into my channel archives and it might be there. If it's not, I'll put it up on Patreon. YouTube may have took it down. I haven't looked at it in a while. I know that it was demonetized, of course, and it was restricted. I know it can't be viewed in Europe for whatever reason. I guess it's too controversial. But that video still should be up. The Black Man Only Has Enemies. So just go look at my videos list, the archives, and it should be there. And if it's not, I'll figure it out, and maybe I'll put that on Patreon. Maybe I'll just post it on Patreon for free or something. I'm not gonna have people pay for a video that was once free. So let's see. What else we got out here before we get out of here? Jerry Stacks, how you been, man? Appreciate you rocking with me. I don't know if I shouted you out earlier. Shout out to all my moderators. Jack Carmen says all women have to be ruled over, no exceptions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. I guess that's about it, fellas. Jerry Stack says waiting on 3-man tag stream. Yeah, me and BOA, we definitely gonna collaborate again for sure. Maybe we can get Mr. Limber to come out for sure. Antoine Hook says, Ram, I downloaded all your old videos, so I have them. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. And men, if you feel like it's necessary, feel free to download all my videos or put them in a playlist or whatever, because we can't assume that such videos will always be there. Boston up by 17. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Appreciate the update on the game. All right, David Bowman, we'll wrap. And having said that, it's almost, I think we're about going to the 3rd hour. So guess we can get out of here. It's been a good live stream. Again, this was Rules of a God King, Sal's list. I did 1 through 20. I may come back 1 through 21. Actually, I may come back at another time to do the remaining. That won't be the next live stream, but maybe I'll put that in a Random Thoughts of a Cognac part 4 stream. And yeah, we'll do it like that. I'd like to thank all of the moderators. I'd like to thank everyone who has participated in the chat. I'd like to thank everyone who is just listening. And a special thanks to everyone who donated in their super chat to support me and this channel. It is deeply appreciated. I have a little bit more time on my hands, so I may do another live stream this time next week, or maybe on a Tuesday, most high willing. So I may be doing another live stream. It's quite unusual for me to do more than one live stream within a month. This is my 2nd of this month. I may do one more because I got a little time on my hands. I plan on dropping a video this weekend, most high willing, and I am on Patreon. And that's it. Shout out to Monster of the Midway, Tamara Reese, Outlaw Mine, Mr. Limber, Expendable. Shout out to you, Gilbert Bird. Thanks for rocking with me. Antoine Hooks, appreciate you again. Black Man, thank you. Jerry Stacks, thank you. Smith Jr., number 3, peace, bro. Salute to you, fam. Ricky, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And yeah, Expendable says, Monster of the Midway, no problem, brother. Salute. And I got to salute Monster of the Midway as well. Another guy who's been rocking with me for a while, who's been in the comment section for a while. Peace, brothers. And most high willing, see you on the next live stream. We'll have more to talk about, more to discuss. Until then, you have been listening to Black Ram 313 live on Rules of a God King. Shout out to all of you. No, thank you, Jerry Stacks. We appreciate you, brothers. And that's a wrap. Shalom and shalom.